everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amy and this is a channel about crafting, mostly cross stitch. Oh, my cat, he just so the past several floss tubes I was recording in my living room, but my daughter likes to do her zooms there, and so I came here into my room, which is where I think I had recorded a couple of them before in here, and every time I turn the camera on, he's just like, hey, what are you doing? Anyway, this is a channel about crafting, mostly cross stitch. This is a floss tube where I talk about all of my crafty situations going on. I have a ton of new subscribers, so welcome back. I try my best to keep my floss tubes around 30 minutes. I used to do like hour and a half long videos, and I just find that it's not productive. That takes a really long time to edit, and there's more talking than there is stitching. Actually, no, because my hauls used to be way bigger when I first started doing floss tubes. So I have several things that I want to talk about today. The first is thank you guys to everybody who's signing up for Floss of the Month. So I had some issues. I showed you guys this one already. I talked about it on my last floss tube with the tags. So what I decided to go ahead and do was start the Floss of the Month for April instead of March like I had originally intended, because these tags put me about 2.5 weeks behind, and that's a lot of time. Even though I'm only doing it once a month, it's a lot of time because the dye process takes a couple of days the way that I do it. Making the tags, that's another several hours, and then tagging them, that's also a whole nother day because I do everything myself. So everybody who paid for Floss of the Month in March is getting their order in April, and you will not be billed for April until the end of April, and it'll be for May's floss, and I'm going to start dyeing May's floss now so that everything is ready. And I ask that you guys be patient with the tags because I'm not happy with these ones, and I will be redoing them some kind of way. I'm not going to show, I will probably show the colors for this month next floss tube, because I don't think all of the orders have gotten there yet, and I do have I think 4 other channels that are going to show the floss on their channel, and I'd like for them to show their viewers first before I give you guys a sneak peek of what the current floss is. Any leftovers I list on the website as the previous month. You can only buy them in sets, and they are usually $1-ish, $1 to $2 more than purchasing it in the club. So to get it at the discounted price, you do need to sign up for the Floss of the Month club. It is, however, no commitment. You can sign up and cancel at any time. You're not my cat required to pay, you know, so many months at a time. Let me close the door. Okay, the next thing I wanted to briefly go over is my Patreon. So if you guys don't know, I do have a Patreon, and I've decided to restructure the Patreon. So I redid all the tiers, and I currently have 4 tiers. I have a content support tier, which is the most basic tier, which is $5 a month. I have a Happy Mail tier, which is $7.50, which it's basically like a pen pal tier. I will send you a handwritten note every single month that you can write back if you want. You don't have to. Sometimes this will include discount codes for Mystical Diamond Art. Sometimes it'll include floss in there, so you'll get a small gift. And then I don't think I brought them with me right now. When you sign up until, I don't know when I put it till, it's not showing me, every new subscriber to my Patreon will get a needle minder in the mail. So it is going to ask you for your address. If you don't have one on file, it will email you and ask you to update your address so that I can obtain it to send you your needle minder in the mail. You could also use it as a cover minder if you're a diamond painter. The 3rd tier is a behind the scenes tier, which is basically not daily vlogs, weekly vlogs. I try to upload 2. It's usually only 1 though. You get sneak peeks. I talk about all of my Flosstube stuff before you see it here on Flosstube, and usually like in more of a greater detail, like if I'm kitting something up or shopping for something or unboxings, because I don't really do the unboxings here. And then I also have patterns. I meant to bring them here to show you guys. I'll pop them up here on the screen, the ones that we've done in the past, and then I will show you this month's pattern right after I talk about the next tier. And then I have an uncensored tier, which is the 4th highest tier, which is, so the content support is the behind the scenes is $10 a month, which is the vlogs. And then the uncensored tier is, so I talk about more personal things, experiences, things that you will never hear here in this public forum on YouTube, or even things that if you chit chat with me online, you're probably not going to hear either. My cat came back. Stuff that I wouldn't normally share with a lot of people. That's what that tier is. So they're vlog style, but it's very, very personal. I talk about, I started sharing my story of last year and how I went missing from Flosstube for almost a whole year. That's going to be on there. And then of course, whatever tier you join at, if you join one of the higher tiers, you get all of the previous tiers. So, okay, I'm going to show you guys this real quick. This month's, free charts, they're technically free because I'm putting them for access to the tiers. So the charts come at the behind the scenes tier. So if you are at the $10 tier, you will get these charts. If you are at the $13 tier, which is the uncensored tier, you get everything from all the previous tiers, so including the postcards every month. This month's charts are Salsa Taco. I haven't put these up yet, but I will. They will go up in the month of April. I have Salsa Taco. Isn't it so freaking cute? What is my cat doing? He likes to eat plastic. So I have this one. Now these are charted with an obscene amount of colors. I do have a designer that I work with, so please feel free to use a single color. I'm going to be having more of these tacos, and I have another one being model stitched. That isn't, I will show that one. When the model stitch is done for that, I will release the pattern. So here's Salsa Taco, and then I also came up with this one, ramen bowl. It is so cute. I want to do this one. I think I'm going to do this one soon. I haven't stitched any of these, and a lot of them, not a lot of them, but some of them I do have model stitched. If you go into the Patreon at the behind the scenes tier, you will see the Halloween pattern that we did was it last year? I don't know. That one was model stitched by Amy Sprinklesteen, and it came out so freaking cute. So here's that. So those are the two that are going to be up in the Patreon this month. I might get that done today, actually. And then I already have next month's charts ready to go. And what are we? May and June. Right now I'm doing 2 charts. I might cut back to 1, but I feel like I want to play catch up with being missing for so long that I want to catch up on some of those charts. So let's get into my cat whips. What did I work on this week? I worked on a lot of, well, I feel like it's a lot. Maybe it's not a lot. Yes, can you stop? Yesterday, I pulled out Harry Potter book covers standard US edition. I'm doing the no-name version. This is by Fox and Teacup Designs on Etsy. This chart, last I checked, is no longer available. She does have the UK version available, which I think I'd like to stitch at some point too. I just haven't. I have enough. So I'm working on that. I'll put a picture up here of where I was before. I had actually put a couple of stitches in before I took this photo, and then I remembered, because I know I haven't worked on this in a long time, and I'm actually going to take the top Q-snap bar off so that you guys can see the top, to see the whole thing. before I, oh no, what did I drop in my lap? A magnet. That's the magnet I was looking for yesterday. I knew I lost a magnet yesterday. Okay, so this is what I worked on. So here's the progress photo. You can see I did a lot of the fill in here, and then I started filling in all this, and then this pink, I actually had to undo this, most of this down here, and redo it. So I fixed all of that yesterday, redid it all, and then started working here. So now I'm coming up into working this part of the column, which is also a part of the first book up until here. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that. And then this is all of the progress that I have on that one. So it's looking really cool. I am not doing it. The only other person that I know that's doing this chart is To Martini Stitcher, and she's doing it book by book. I'm not doing that. I'm just going page by page. If I recall correctly, this is a whole page, and then this is another page here that I'm working on. I believe this is the bottom of that page, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I'm gonna do it page by page because it just fits better with me in my mind. And these are supposed to be harsh lines in here. They're not from stitching. Those marks the end of the book for that letter. And yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. This is so much fun to stitch. I'm stitching this on 28 count even weave 2/2, which is currently my favorite way to stitch. Well, actually for full coverage, it's my favorite way to stitch. Maybe even in general, because I also used the same fabric on the Linen and Threads Friends and Family, and I absolutely loved stitching that one too. I'm thinking that I really love 28 count 2/2. And the reason that I stitch a lot of my full coverages on 28, either 1/1 or 10, is just because of size reasons. If it wasn't going to be so big, I would totally stitch on 28 count 2/2. It just is what it is. So the next whip that I worked on, that I put a lot of work into, so I kind of have a progress photo that I'll put here. I did a whip and chat with this one, or a stitch with me. It's at an awkward angle, so I apologize because it's just a screenshot from the video, and I think I found the perfect angle for my videos, so I'm going to try that out today, I think, and see how it comes out. There's that, and when I took this photo, I had already had a little bit of progress on there, and so it's not 100% accurate, but for the most part. So this is Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers, and I am starting up here in this corner. So I started coming this way before finishing this page because I don't have enough room on this side for it to fit comfortably in my Q-snap, and so I need to sew a piece of fabric on, which now that I have it in here, I'll probably do that right now after this video, so that I can come and finish this page because I started on this page over here. This is another one that's going to be ridiculously huge. So I should have done this on 18 count. I don't know why I didn't. I chose to do it on 32 count, which is essentially 16 count. And again, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm stitching this in DMC 115, which is a variegated red. You can see it. And I chose to do it in red because to me, red is like caution, danger, kind of a hard, I don't want to say a hard time, but it's more, the red is more indicative of that kind of aura, I guess. And I got this when it was free, by the way. When it first came out, it was free. It's not free anymore, but have you guys seen that pattern that they came out with called Before I Sleep? I heard it was a new pattern. I saw it on Instagram, and I heard that it was new. And I tried looking up the hashtag for it, and only two Asian people have posted it, and it was written in another language, but the translation essentially stated that it was a new pattern, and it was so hard to find on the Long Dog website, but I did find it under other, and it's called Before I Sleep, and I absolutely love it, and I'm considering getting it. It's supposed to be like a Christmas pattern, but yeah. This is where I've gotten to. Am I holding it the right way? Yeah. I confused myself because I'm coming down, and I was thinking that that was the end of the page, like the end of the pattern. It's not. It goes this way. I feel like I'm backwards. This is the front of the, not the front, this is the top left corner, and it's gonna come down obviously, but you see how this has a situation here? I'm missing this whole part, and I can't remember if there's anything here, but I don't have enough room right here to put this in my Q-snap comfortably, so I went ahead and skipped that. I'm gonna sew some fabric down here, and this is what I've done. I feel like this is a whole skein, by the way, and part of another skein. So one skein got me to 3.28%, and based off of my calculations, I'm gonna need something like 30 skeins or something like that. 30 something skeins, which is a freaking lot. But then I started doing the math, wondering like why I chose to do it on this. I don't know, but it's gonna be big. It's gonna be 23 by 27. So it's gonna be, oh no, my needle minders are stuck together. Why are you so close in the first place? So I keep a ton of needles on here because I'm using one color. So when I take a, what did I do? I don't know. When I take a cut of floss off, I put all 6 strands on the needle, and then the second one I put the empty needle, and then I keep them all lined up here, so you can just pull one off so I don't have to constantly rethread after every strand ends. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents for the day. 23 going across, and the way I calculated is it's somewhere like right here where it's gonna be, so it's gonna be huge. I purchased a half yard of this. This should be no surprise that this is a Be Stitch Me Ice Queen 32 count Joblin is what I'm stitching this in, 2/2. So again, I really love the 2/2 stitching, and I'm right now obsessing over the long dog stitching. I have this one, and I have Death by Cross Stitch that is already started that I didn't get very far on. So, oh no, I got it dirty right there. That's the back though, I think. Which I started on a piece of fabric, even me that I dyed myself, but I'm thinking of redoing it because I'm not enjoying the stitch. I'm thinking of restarting it, and I think I only started the border anyway. Oh, by the way, I want to point out that long guys have like a double border. I'm not doing the double border. I'm only doing the first part of the border on the inside, and I am not going to do the outside border. I hate stitching that type of border, and I refuse to do it. I don't need it. I think it looks okay on the drawing, like the picture, but when you are stitching it, I think it looks fine without the second border, in my opinion. And I refuse to stitch it. So there's that. This I need to keep here at my sewing machine. And then the other 2 things that I worked on are both new starts. Did I show you guys the start on my Psychedelic Studio? I restarted Psychedelic Studio. I can't remember if I showed you guys or not, but I restarted that one. I don't remember what size fabric I started it on, but I restarted that. This one is a new start. So I'm having super startitis right now, and I'm just starting all the things. I started this Hannah Lynn. It's called Easter Lily Fairy, and she is gorgeous. I wish she was a mini so that I could stitch her 2/2, but on 25 count she's only 14 by 10, so I think she's gonna be perfect size once she's finished. I am stitching this on a piece of 25 count Lugana. Oh, this is by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm stitching her 1/1, and I did sew some extra fabric on because my Lugana wasn't big enough, and I'm stitching her 1/1. This is 481 stitches that I have completed on her. It doesn't look like much, but I was aiming for 1,000, but it's just not feasible sometimes, and it just is what it is. And I know that if I was doing tent stitch, that I would still be shooting for 1,000, And the way that I see it is it's every stitch, not the legs. I know like challenge groups are so dumb and they're like, oh, if you do 10 stitches and you have to do double the stitches. The way that I do it is that if I check off a box on Pattern Keeper, that is a full stitch no matter how it was stitched. If it was a tenth, a half, a quarter, whatever, if it's a box that gets checked off on Pattern Keeper, then it counts as a stitch. So 400, I think it was 481 to be exact, but it was right under 500, all one color, which is what I'm loving about this. It's funny because she has 90 colors in her, but there's a lot of color blocking. I am still missing a few colors for her that I'm going to try to get soon. I'm just trying to rein back on my buying, and I'm strict no buy. I'm going to sit on patterns that I think that I want for quite some time. And if I still want them when I revisit the cart and I have a chance to buy them, then I will buy them. But right now, I'm hard and fast no buy. I say that, and the next week I'm going to come back with something. I just know it, unless it's DMC that I need. I have so many projects that I want to work on. And I think we're going to go over the 30 minutes today, but that's okay after I said. But yeah, I have so many projects that I want to work on, and the way that I feel about it is I bought them for a reason, and if I keep buying, like, I'm just not going to have time to work on them. Like this, I don't know how long I've had this chart, and I still don't know when it's going to be done, but it is what it is, you know? So I had another new start. This one's actually a pretty quick stitch, and I'm pretty surprised at it. The fill-in is taking a little bit longer. There's something on the fabric. The fill-in's taking a little bit longer, but that's okay. But you see progress a lot quicker. And I started the Pixel 2021 from Pixel Prime Cross Stitch. I have another sale going on right now that I wasn't the biggest fan of. But this one just appeals to me. It's a gamer sale, of course. I'm trying to show you guys with the glare. It's in a sheet protector anyway, so even if I take it out of the bag, you're still gonna get the glare. That's what it looks like. It's super cute. It's got all of the old school, maybe not all of them, but a lot of the old school games. And that's how much I got. So I got quite a bit. This was about, I think I calculated 500 stitches, because each one of these rows was about 160 stitches if I'm not mistaken. So maybe more than that, I don't know. So I did this is one page right here, the whole first page. So I did that's why like it kind of stops all weird like that, even though I had more room. And here I just decided to close off this line. This last edge isn't on this page, but I decided to do it anyway to run out of that thread that I had, because I didn't want to park it. So yeah, I'm noticing though the black, it's fraying so bad, which is why I chose to do the black first, so that it didn't interfere with any of the other colors. And I'm trying to go down in the holes where the black stitching is, but that's not always a possibility in here. And so I still have, there's a couple of the edges here in the orange where the black kind of interfered. But I'm doing the black first before I put the colors in for that reason. And then these here are supposed to be stitched in white, and I'm honestly thinking of leaving them empty. I'm not sure. What do you guys think about that? I'm thinking of not stitching them. I don't know if it's gonna, because it's not a full coverage piece anyway, so it's not gonna look weird with the negative space in it, because like these aren't gonna have full stitching anyway, so I don't know. So I want to finish that. We'll see. After I did this though, this was all one day's worth, not like a day, but like an evening's worth of stitching, and I didn't come back to it after that because I pulled out the Harry Potter after that, so I don't know. And that was everything that I started. If you're a patron or you join, you'll see that I went through a rampage kitting stuff up last week. I didn't show everything, I just talked about it. And then I also redid some things as well. So what I did was, just thinking for a second, I might look at that again. So a couple of charts, I didn't like the fabric that they were on, or they needed new fabric. This one I talked about on Patreon, and I decided to redo the fabric on this one, and I had previously started her. This is Electra by Nora Corbett, part of the Bewitching Pixies collection. So I re-kitted her up, and she's ready to go, and I'm stitching, I'm stitching on 32 count Silver Moon Lugana from Wishlist, and this is the other half of the fabric that I'm using for my chatelaine. Oh, I didn't bring my chatelaine. I need to go get that. I will show you guys that in a minute because I need to go get it. So yeah, I decided to pair this with Autumn from Bestitch Me, 32 count Lugana. And that's the fabric that I think it's gonna look amazing on her. So I kitted that up. I do have her in a book sleeve that I made that I think at some point I'm gonna put it in a normal project bag and get rid of the book sleeve because these just take up too much space because they're thick and puffy. And then I redid the fabric for Gwen. She's another Bewitching Pixie. She was also done previously on Ada, which I decided to redo. This one I paired with 32 count Lugana. Also from Bestitch Me in this like grayish green color. It doesn't have a name on it, so I'm not sure. So both of those have everything they need to actually start them. I also chose a piece of fabric for the Tingles collection. It is a Lizzie Kate, what do they call it? Flip It. There's 6 booklets with 2 patterns each, and I think I'm just going to kit this up with DMC. I thought there was one in here, but I guess I put it back. And I'm going to stitch her on, or them on, 28 count Lugana in Wet Sand. And it's an opal Lugana from Bestitch Me. No surprise there. I'm trying not to crinkle it. And these are all patterns that I've had. This is all fabric that I've had. I haven't purchased any of this recently. This was all purchased like a year ago. So it's kitted up in all Fancy Floss, and I'm pretty sure I'm just going to choose from Stash the colors for that. And I think it's all done in the same color palette for that. So I kitted up, so I'm still missing Floss for this one. I kitted up Gandalf here. This is from, I don't know. I got it off Etsy. I don't know the name of the, I think it's X Cross Stitch Pattern X, I think, off of Etsy. If I remember, I'll link it below. I do still need some DMC for him. There's several of these that I need DMC for that I haven't done. I had this huge piece of, I think it's Ada. It might be Hardanger. It's firm, but not like incredibly stiff. It's a yard that I got off of Mercari. It's 20 count something, and it's like an ivory color that I'm going to go ahead and stitch him on. It is 20 count, so I think I'm going to do a test stitch and see if I can do 2/2. If not, it'll be my cat, because I know I can do 2/2 on 18 count no problem, and so I'm going to kind of see if I can do 2/2 on that as well. So there's that. Then I went on a frenzy making project bags for all of my patterns. So I started out with 5. These are 4 of the project bags that I made. Oh, speaking of, I forgot to tell you something. Because I messed one up. And then I have 11 more all cut and ready to go. I'll put a picture here. Then I'm going to maybe start hammering out today because, as you guys can see, not all of my projects have project bags. So these have other projects that I want to start in them. Something that I forgot to mention in my Patreon speech was that the two highest tiers are also going to have a monthly project bag giveaway. I really enjoy making project bags, and oh my gosh, I want to eventually offer a couple up for sale every month, and not like anything crazy, because I don't think I have the time or the space to be able to do it full time. But there's gonna be a monthly project bag giveaway. I do eventually, like I said, I want to sell a few a month because I recently found out that I lost my job. I still get to work for about another 2 months, but after that I don't have a job, and I'm really worried about that. And you know, I run Mystical Diamond Art, I do the floss, and I don't get paid from YouTube, and Mystical Diamond Art pretty much breaks even. I just love the work so much that I keep pushing forward, and so I think I'd really like to add project bags to that lineup. But yeah, so again, top 2 tiers project bag giveaway. So if you don't want to buy one, you could also join Patreon, and you'll have a chance to win a project bag every single month. So this was a bag that I made. It just has some blue. All of these are just done with what I had in my stash already, so the coordination might not match 100%, but it's done with fabric that I already had because I really wanted to practice making the bag and getting the shape down, and the sewing and what works for me. I think I finally nailed it. So this is just the colorway that I chose from what I had. In here, oh, I put Garandala, which is a chart that Amy Sprinklesteen gave me. She sent me the chart with all of the floss and the Krynic and the beads to start her, and I just needed a piece of fabric. So I had this piece of 28 count Dirty Piggy linen from Be Stitch Me. I think this is probably the last piece of linen I have in my stash. No, I think I have 2 more actually. And I floss tossed her, and it came out really cute, and I think she's gonna look good. So I put her in here. She's raring to go whenever I feel like starting her. This is a Star Wars bag that I made. This one has a couple mistakes here in the edge, but I figured that out. And then I actually had the perfect fabric for the inside of this. Look at how awesome that matches. Perfect. Something to note though is that I won't ever sell the licensed ones. When you buy licensed fabric, it actually tells you what you can and can't do with said fabric, and it's just a whole situation, so I won't be doing that. In here I have the Giraffe Umoha by Heaven Earth Designs, Joanne Roland artwork, and it's all kitted up, ready to go. I think I'm missing 4 colors from here, but that's what's in here. I'm stitching this 28 count. I think I'm doing tent, but I can't remember. I started it. I put a couple stitches in, but I'm going to redo it because I didn't like where it was going. Here is a big bundle of threads. Another Star Wars one. Do they have the same zipper? Yeah, they do. That I did. Same fabric on the inside because I had so much of it. In here we have, oh, my Randall Spangler one. So this is already a start. I started this one. This is the Automagic. And that's why like these ones are so big, because they are 100% kitted Heaven and Earth projects. I have a ton more that need project bags, which is why I'm making so many. Then I had this fabric. Again, this is all stuff I have in my stash. That's what the inside looks like. And in here I have Mini Farewell to Anger, which is, I've been thinking about this one a lot lately and wanting to kit this one up. I actually think I'm stitching this on 18 count Ada. Let me look. Yeah, I am. I'm stitching this on 18 count 2/2. I'm stitching this on green because I had it and it was going to fit and it just made sense. And I've been thinking about this one a lot lately, so I think I'm going to pull this one out. But I'm pretty sure this is 18 count. I'm not 100%. I'd have to count it up again. But so there's that. Then I decided to redo her. I think I talked about it before. I scrapped her, had all the floss for it. I think I'm missing one color, maybe not. So I have her 100% kid. I had her started and I completely screwed her up somewhere. Don't know where. She's going to be 14 by 20 on 25 count. So I'm actually going to see what she's going to be like on 18 count and see if I can do her on 18 count. But I had this piece of 25 count even weave. I don't know. I feel like it's just the regular even weave, like the kind you get at Hobby Lobby when I used to shop there. But it's just this tan color. But I've been thinking I need a piece of fabric for the next thing I'm going to show you guys. And this would actually be perfect for it because I don't want to buy anything for it. This is 23 by 26. And yeah, so I put that there to restart her, but I don't have fabric for this. So I got this free either last year or the year before. Alforce Embroidery put this chart up for free. It's still on their website, but it's no longer free, which I don't even think you can buy from them anymore right now because they're a Russian company. I don't know, honestly. I don't know how it works because I don't typically, the companies that I know that are from Russia, I haven't found anything that I've liked or wanted to purchase since everything's happened. And so I haven't purchased anything from there. Oh, they do, what did I do with it? Let me check. Okay, hold please. So you can still download their free charts. I'm going to show you that right now because that made me think of that. So yeah, you can download their free charts. I got this when it was free. So there's that. And it just says Merry Christmas. It's so freaking pretty. So I went to Joann's and I got the floss. Now I'm doing my own conversion. And I'm stitching this in the DMC satin floss. It's freaking gorgeous. So I'm going to stitch this in that, and they use some variegated thread, which I'm not going to do. So I have the red is going to be 666, the green is 700. Again, these are the DMC satin ones, and then I got the B5200, well, the S5200, and then it calls for 2 shades of brown. So there is a brown that I'm going to have to order. But I did get the, oh, it's coming undone. The first brown, which is 434, so I need a darker shade of brown because it does use 2 shades of brown. And I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm missing one more color. What color am I missing? It's the red, the green, the gold, the white, and the 2 shades of brown. Red, green, gold, white, brown. Oh no. So yeah, I'm just missing the darker brown, which is used for some of the like tree accents. The lanterns in this one, 2 of them are light brown, 2 of them are dark brown, that kind of thing. But I think I have enough to start. The sleigh is a dark brown and the gingerbread is a light brown. So I have enough to start and do a good chunk of the letters. I'm not going to get the same variegation. Like if you look in the gold, it's more variegated than anything, but I'm not going to do that. And what I decided to do, and I know I'm going to regret it, is stitch it in the metallic gold. I think it's going to contrast nicely with the satin. And yes, I've stitched with this before. I'm currently stitching with it in one of my Joan Elliott projects that I haven't picked up in a while. And it works better 1/1 on here instead of 2/2. It's very difficult to stitch with 2 strands of this, but I think it's going to look nice. I just haven't decided on fabric. I was going to order a piece of Lugana from the Country French line from Witchold, but again, I don't want to order anything, and I just don't know if this is big enough. So I'm actually going to do the math on this and see if this is big enough, because I think this fabric is going to look good, because that's essentially what it's on. I don't want to do it on anything hand-dyed. I think it's going to be too much, and it's going to take away from it. So haul, Well, I bought those DMCs, and then I downloaded this from Alfor's website when I was looking. I was looking for the information for the Christmas thing to see if I didn't print a page. And I saw this called Pumpkin Color Autumn. And it's so cute. The only thing is it kind of reminds me of the piece I already stitched. It's kind of hard to see for some reason here, but it's so cute. I love it. The only thing is I think that house is going to be a pain in the butt. It's like a pumpkin house. I don't know. I think it'll be fine. I think I'm going to pull some of the same colors that I used. I don't have any more of that green, so we'll see what I end up using for that. But I think I'm going to pull the same orange for the pumpkins and just do my own conversion for this. It looks like it's kind of big. I don't know. It's in Russian. It doesn't say the stitch count. Why? Oh, right here. Size of finished work. It doesn't, 167 by 212. So, I think it's going to be kind of good size, but it's cute. I love it. So, there's that. I also want to start this, but I don't want to buy the Valdani thread pack. It's expensive. It's like $50 or $60. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to convert it to DMC, but I couldn't find a full list of Valdani colors. I found this one, but I don't think it's the whole thing. So I need to go through here, write down the colors, because there's not like a comprehensive list in here for some reason. It's just broken down by page and what you need by page, which I thought was freaking weird. So there's that. So I have one saved on my phone that I'm going to go through and see if they're not on here. I don't even know where I found this at. Just Googling it. There's several websites that have some conversions. And I did find another one. I don't know if it was on the Valdani website or somewhere else, but it wasn't in any type of order. It was so confusing. It was like kind of like a spreadsheet, but none of it made any sense. And you literally had to like go through every single little box and every column to find the color that you were looking for, because it wasn't in any type of order. Like in this one, at least it's in order. Like all the H's are here, the O's are here, the P's are here. It makes sense, right? Or you would think it makes sense. It makes sense to me that way. Let me get my chatelaine, because I didn't show you guys that. And then that'll be the end of this video. This is longer than I wanted it to be. Okay, so I'm gonna put a picture here of the chatelaine that I'm doing, and it's the Medieval Town Mandala, and I love the pattern. There's a couple of other chatelaines that I really like as well, but again, because I'm not gonna have a job in a couple of weeks, I don't want to buy another one. I almost pulled the trigger in purchasing White Nights at St. Petersburg and the materials I need for the Egypt Garden mandala, because I have the Egypt Garden mandala chart already, so that saves me 30 bucks, 30 some dollars. But when I put it all in my cart, it was going to be like $600 or something for the materials for Egypt Garden minus the Gloriana, and the materials for White Nights at St. Petersburg minus the NPI. I think I have that right, because it's crazy right now, everything. So I decided not to do it, but this is my start. I have it loosened, so it's kind of goofy, but there's a garden in the middle, and this is like the fountain, the base of the fountain. The fountain's going to be down here. I already have some of the water stitched in there, but that's my start on that. I ordered the bead pack and all of the fancy floss except for the NPI, and I subbed the NPI for DMC. So I think I'm going to be happy with it, to be completely honest. And in this, I already used some of the thread gatherer floss, the DMC, and the Karen Water Lilies is already in here. It's my first time using those, and I'm happy with it. The thread gatherer silk is amazing. It's so nice to stitch with, and it feels so nice in your hand. So yeah, that's that. I'm stitching this on 32 count Silver Moon Lugana from Witchold. I'm stitching it 2/2. My finished completed size of this project is going to be about 17.5 inches by 17.5 inches. So that's my piece. So yeah, that's it. Let's see how much I can edit out. I don't think I have a full like 10 minutes to edit out, maybe a couple of minutes. This is longer than I wanted it to be because I shared more than I normally share. And yeah, hopefully I can catch you guys on my Patreon. I have a lot of interesting content over there right now. I think I have like another almost 30 videos, and just some interesting topics, especially in the uncensored tier. So I'll see you guys later, maybe next week.